Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo flawless Grandmaster the Arms Dealer with Warlock. For my loadout, I'll be using top 3 Voidwalker. For my kinetic, I'll be using the 7 Seraph Officer Revolver Hand Cannon. Next, I'll be using a blue scout rifle, the Madrugada SR2. Next, I'll be using, of course, Anarchy. For my helmet, I'll be using Scout Rifle Ammo Finder, Grenade Launcher Ammo Finder, Shield Break Charge, and 10 Disciplined. For my exotic, I'll be using the Converse Hold Exotic Gauntlets for the Warlock with Unstoppable Hand Cannon, Anti-Barrier Scout Rifle, Protective Light, and Disciplined, plus 10. Next, I'll be using Concussive Dampener, highly recommend, with Solo Damage Resistance, with Taking Charge. Next, I'll be using Scout Rifle Scavenger, Grenade Launcher Scavenger, Global Reach, 10 Recovery. Last, I'll be using Bomber, 5 Disciplined, Wrath of Rasputin, and Sundering Glare. Unfortunately, you're gonna have an unpleasant welcome dealing with 2 champions, 1 Unstoppable and 1 Barrier Champion. If you do die on this room, on Grandmaster, on your fire team, it's okay, it happened to me. When the Arms Dealer was first released, the Grandmaster version, I did die with my fire team, unfortunately, on the first time for this Nightfall. Of course, as you see here, I accidentally messed up my nade. I didn't mean to. And I'm going to deal with the Unstoppable Champion first. I'm going to shoot 2 Anarchy shots and bait him to push towards me. You can also use your finisher, but be aware of you must use your finisher when there's no Anarchy attacking him, because if you use your finisher, his backpack will explode and it will kill you. So be aware of using finishers on Grandmaster, especially with the champions. In this video, I did not use the finisher because it was just too much work, to be honest, of where I have to use my finisher when there's no Anarchy or any weapons that consistently does DPS with the champions. I was trying to throw my grenade and to, of course, deal with the next champion, the Barrier Champion. Now, there are 2 types of Barrier Champions. There's one where it likes to spam the machine gun of death. Remember the Heir Apparent? Yes, it actually is kind of using that weapon, and it's going to shoot non-stop for like a minute. And it's going to waste a minute of your life when dealing with this champion. I throw my nade, shoot 2 Anarchy shots, maybe 3 if I'm panicking, you know? And of course I did the 3rd one because I did kind of panic. So when switching to your Warmind weapon, you can spawn a Warmind cell, especially dealing with the champions. Or we can call it the warming cell. Yes, let's call it the warming cell because it's just so lovely, it looks so warm, you just want to destroy it. So this room is gonna be a bit annoying. We're gonna be dealing with, of course, a ship which you can kill and cannot kill. It's your choice. The ship will eventually run away or fly away to harass other guardians instead of me, because I want to get this done and over it. There's gonna be these gold cabals, which I highly recommend you kill them because sometimes they like to push you. And I like to remind you that a lot of things can one-shot you. Yeah, so if you're not being careful, and you can see there, that fire, void fire, can one-shot you as well. Always take down any ads that are pushing towards you, and be aware of the throwing grenades. And of course, this ship did try to kill me when it was flying up in the sky. I was just looking left and right, and I was trying to deal with the sniper where it did try to throw the void fire towards me. You can also use Xenophage or Anarchy to deal with these gold cabals, because like I said, sometimes it can go the aggressive and push towards you and melee attack you, which can one-shot you. And you will have to start all over again, dealing with the unpleasant welcome with the 2 champions in the beginning of the Nightfall. You can see there that he tried to push towards me, not today. It happened to me once, and it's never gonna happen to me again. And that's pretty much what I do. Like, if I do Grandmaster attempts, if I get a death, then I'm not going to make it happen again. It's not going to happen to me. Fool me once, and that's not gonna happen. There are 2 snipers or scions where they can one-shot you. And I do apologize, my grenade throwing is not 100% expert. So you can see that I'm not perfect. Nobody is. So you will see a lot of fails of my grenades and accidentally hit the Nova Bomb with my Anarchy. My bad. There are alternate weapons to use throughout this Nightfall. You can use Xenophage. And I was trying to think of other weapons to use because this Nightfall isn't too bad compared to last week. It's just dealing with the boss fight and of course dealing with double champions, which can be a big nightmare. Using the scout on this Nightfall actually makes it a bit easier compared to 10 months ago or last year when Arms Dealer's Grandmaster was first released, where everyone had to use Ariana's Vow. Another alternate loadout is using Ariana's Vow, but honestly the reason why I'm not using it is because I got sick of using Ariana's Vow. And I used to use it so much on the Shadow Keep of Season. It's those moments where you get fed up with a weapon and you just want to use something else. And that's how I am, by the way. If I get fed up with a certain weapon, I just use different weapons. Depending of how many ads you kill or cabals, there will be unstoppable champion spawning. Be cautious because this unstoppable champion can sneak up on you, and you saw there throwing grenades. Always be careful with the throwing grenades, which is why I put concussive dampener, so I won't get one shot if I'm near the grenades, you know. I'm trying to remember if I did get grenade off from my character, where I was just running and a grenade was on me. I don't remember, to be honest. But anyways, once you stagger, you can throw your grenade and then get your grenade back. Since we're using the exotic gauntlets for the Warlock, and we all know it's very powerful, I mean, I do enjoy using it, but I try not to use too much of the loadout. As you can see there, the grenade hit me. So as you can see, with concussive dampener, it can save your life. So always have concussive dampener and solar resistance on your chest plate. And I know it can be a big issue, especially for people who do love reserves on their ammo, on anarchies, Xenophage especially. For the Grandmaster, what's more important on Grandmaster is survivability. You need to have some mods for survivability, which is why I'm using Protective Light. And I should have used a different mod for the Protective Light build, to be honest, because there's not a lot of shields to break. Besides the tank room, which we're going to be talking about very soon. Once I wasted 5 minutes of my life throughout this entire room, I'm going to pick up the orb charge and then let it go. Because I don't want dogs to spawn yet, or the ship, or the snipers. I want to deal with the barrier champion. Now, this barrier champion has a machine gun, and I despise them very much. It's not the one with the rockets, by the way. So always be cautious with this barrier champion, especially with the fire team. So I'm waiting patiently put one anarchy shot, and then just deal with the scout rifle. And of course, if anyone's wondering what scout rifle I'm using the blue scout rifle. Now you're probably gonna ask why. Why would you choose this scout rifle over Night Watch, over the Void, well, the Solar Raid scout rifle? The reason why is because this scout rifle has explosive payload and I can have a chance to make Warmind cells. 2, it's solar. I might as well use it. 3, I don't really like the Raid scout rifle too much. I like it for a fire team, but for solo I would prefer the blue sky rifle because with explosive payload you can deal with the barrier champions much more quicker with this scout rifle than scout rifles with no explosive payload. Of course, Vocal Weapon does work wonders as well, but if it's a slow scout rifle, then you might have a hard time because I have tried using the Iron Banner scout rifle on barrier champions, and trust me guys, it did not work out. Once I switched to my Night Watch, then I got my Grandmaster on the other Nightfall on my first go, so there is a big difference of using fast scout rifles and slow scout rifles on Grandmaster. As you saw there, I did take down the ship, and always do. You can use Xenophage, Anarchy, other weapons. I'm trying to be cautious and trying to bait this barrier champion. Now, this barrier champion is very, very dangerous, so I'm going to do the method A. And I don't really like this method because sometimes the barrier champion can shoot you from far away from this area. As you can see there, he can shoot you from far away if you're not careful. So I decided to back away and then try to do DPS again. Always pop a healing rift when dealing with this barrier champion, and you can shoot 2 anarchy shots and then do DPS, of course, with the sky rifle. I was trying to use a Nova Bomb, but it didn't work out too well. I was trying to wait patiently and it decided to hit the wall instead of the barrier champion, so I kind of wasted my super, which was kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is, you know. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. So little things like this can happen, especially using the Nova Bomb on Warlock. Now I actually was debating to use Chaos Reach, but then I thought about the Void Shields, and I don't have the best scout rifle to deal with the Void, so I decided to go with the Void subclass instead. And I heard they did nerf the Chaos Reach, and I haven't tested out yet on the Geomag stabilizers. Now these dogs can one-shot you, so always be on the lookout of where these dogs are. So after wasting 2 minutes of my life over here, I'm going to run back and get the orb charge. So I'm gonna do a mini time skip because this part is kind of boring. So I'm picking up the orb charge. I'm gonna go up here, and for warlocks, be cautious of your jumping because I had times where I kind of messed up my jump and died. Before I'm going to dunk the solar charge, I'm going to set up traps with anarchy. And yes, the power of using anarchy. I'm going to dunk the solar orb, and I'm going to switch to my kinetic weapon so I can make Warmind cells, and of course destroy it. There's going to be one unstoppable champion and one gold cabal. Now this one is very, very interesting. The last time I did the arms dealer grandmaster with my fire team, the unstoppable usually pushes towards you, but for this season he seems to just pull back, doesn't seem aggressive of pushing towards you to kill you. Maybe it's just me because I've been Because usually this unstoppable champion will push towards you, but instead of pushing towards you, he just goes and hides from the left side. Of course, we'll be dealing with a gold cabal as well. Now the gold cabal can shoot you from far away, and it's very dangerous. Another thing I like to remind everyone is do not jump. There is a mod where it's grounded. Basically, it's like grounded, where it says solo damage is highly increased in aerial effect, or basically grounded. So if you jump, anything can one-shot you. So when jumping, always look in your surroundings, especially with your fire team, and then you can jump, and then of course, use your Noah bomb, chaos rage, etc. Right now, I was just debating, should I use the anarchy or save it? But then again, I'm using double primary. When using double primary weapons, you always have your heavy ammo quite a lot compared to using a special. Another thing I like to say is using a sniper is very good for this Nightfall. But just be cautious that you might run out of ammo, and special finisher could come in handy dealing with this Nightfall. Now I'm going to be proceeding to the next area. I'm going to throw out my nade to deal with the 3 cabals, or it's 4, I lost counted. I don't remember. Like I said, do not jump. Do not jump. Please, for the love of the traveler speaker, try not to jump on your runs, because those cabals can one-shot you if they shoot you with their arc attack, if you're jumping the air. So now we got that out of the way. Isn't this exciting? Isn't this exciting? Don't you love Grandmasters? They just take forever to complete it. Which is why I would recommend just to go with a fire team, especially farming adapt weapons. So there's gonna be 1 champion in this area. So I'm going to skip, but because I want to be cautious, you can use your sparrow, or you could just run like me. You can go on the upper platforms up ahead. Now in this footage I accidentally fell down. I thought I was dead, but then there was an invisible platform, or a platform that I never knew, because I never usually go here, but because of Grandmaster I decided to go to this area. So first I deal with the sniper, and I'm going to kill this barrier champion. Now this barrier champion already knew I was there. Usually he doesn't notice that you were sneaking up to him, so it was kind of bad luck for me. So you can see here, I fell down, I thought I died, and I was like, oh wait, there's a platform there. I didn't even know. Something new every day I learn from Destiny. Decided to use my super, kill the barrier champion, and get the hell out of here. I don't want to deal with the arc, shield, ads, etc, the 3 ships, which is not necessary to kill. So I kill the champion, I'm done. We're gonna go to the tank room. It's gonna be your best friend or your worst enemy, the tank room. We're gonna be dealing with a lot of champions.
We're coming for you, Zan.
Got a lot to answer for.
2 tanks, well, 1 annoying tank, then the other one is annoying. And of course, void cabals where they can shoot from far away. So this tank can one-shot you. So always be cautious of the deadly tank. And like I said before, try your best not to jump in this Nightfall. The modifier, there is a modifier, basically grounded, where if you jump, you will get damage. And for Grandmaster, you will die. I was trying my best using my grenades and just taking advantage of the exotic gauntlets. There are a couple of void cabals which, if you have explosive payload on your scout, you can actually shoot through the shield and deal with the red ads. I was trying to see if I can kill the unstoppable champion first and then deal with the tank. That was my goal when I was doing this run. At the same time, I had to be cautious of the tank where he does shoot you like every 6 seconds or 7 seconds. I lost counted. I don't remember at the moment. So these void cabals can be very annoying. You can throw your nade, or if you have osmosis, then you can just use that. I didn't want to use osmosis since I already have explosive payload that I can deal with the champions, well, the red ads. So what you can see here is I am using Anarchy. And then of course Unstoppable Champion's gonna walk away like a coward. So yeah, isn't this exciting? Don't you just love it when you're trying to kill Unstoppable Champion far away from long distance because you can't kill him because he can one-shot you, or your tank can one-shot you, which you can see right here. Protective life saved my life again. This is like the 3rd or 2nd time. So exciting. I'm wasting a lot of minutes right now of dealing with this part. And it's just the beginning of the room. We haven't even dealt with 3 unstoppable champions yet. Let's not forget about the 2 barrier champions. And don't forget there's going to be another tank upper platform. So this is exciting. And this is why I don't like Grandmaster a lot. It's not fun. I prefer Master over this. But then again, this week's togetherness, and I hate togetherness. So it's such a hard choice where Grandmaster actually could be easier than Master because of togetherness. And yes, I know people will disagree or agree with me, but for solo togetherness, it's a nightmare. Have you tried the corrupted togetherness Master Nightfall? I'm still traumatized by that Nightfall, especially the elevator and the final boss. I was scouting, I was waiting for the Unstoppable Champion to do the peekaboo, and I can kill it. Because Unstoppable Champion did not want to push towards me anymore, and it was unfortunate, I decided to just throw my nade and deal with the tank. So I decided to use Nova Bomb, and hopefully my Nova Bomb would do some damage. Finally, some damage. And decided to just spam my grenade. And this is basically what's gonna happen for 3 minutes of my life. I'm just gonna throw my nade and dodge and hide in this wall. Yeah, pretty much fun. Now I could shoot down the legs, but then again I could get shot by the tank if I'm not being careful or being reckless. I didn't want that to happen, so I decided to just take my time to kill the tank. Another thing I like to say is the Unstoppable Champion can push you if you haven't killed it yet. So always be on the lookout of where an Unstoppable Champion is, because it happened to me where I was minding my own business, throwing my grenades, and then the Unstoppable Champion pushed me and I was on red health. Yeah, be careful and be on the lookout of where the Unstoppable Champion is. You can see there that I almost died. So protective light can save you, which is why I highly recommend always put protective light on Grandmasters. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just using Anarchy, and he just won't die. And I was trying to see if I could shoot the legs since I haven't hit the legs yet. And I was waiting for the tank to shoot, and And finally I killed him. It took me forever. 3 minutes of my life, remember? It was horrifying. So much anger towards this Grandmaster.
One less tank to worry about. But we
Made a war mindset and decided to clear down a couple of ads. I want to deal with the buried champion, of course, unstoppable. But first things first, I'm going to clear down a couple of ads, throw my nade, and hopefully I can take down everything and then deal with the unstoppable. Well, unstoppable champion, of course, the buried champions. So finally, the unstoppable champion was there, but I ran out of ammo. So I had to go all the way from here, you know, waste 30 seconds of my life. And then I could deal with the unstoppable champion. I usually go on top of this platform because I noticed the unstoppable champion does back away a little bit. But at the same time, he could run away from DPS. So you can't really stand there too long. If I'm being really honest. So finally I spent so much ammo dealing with that champion. Now I had to deal with a couple of red ads or cabals since we have to take them down before dealing with the 2 barrier champions. So basically I'm just going to take my time and clear down all the red ads before dealing with the barrier champions. So I'm going to do a mini time skip for this because this is basically 4 minutes of my life dealing with the red ads, and this is basically 4 minutes of my life dealing with the red ads, and they were hiding a lot. Once I clear all the ads, I'm going to jump all the way from the left side on this platform. There's going to be 2 barrier champions up ahead, and I'm going to kill one, of course use my super, and pray that I'll do some DPS, throw my nade, and accidentally throw it pretty bad, and then deal with the first champion, the first barrier champion. I like to stand on this platform and deal with the barrier champion. Sometimes the barrier champion can be a troll and bungee you and likes to pull back and then try to regain his health. This is why I prefer explosive payload in any scout rifle, because you can take down the shield even with the explosive payload. And it just helps so much, especially on the Grandmaster Nightfalls. So once I kill this barrier champion, I'm going to deal with the next one. In this footage, I think I was trying to kill him and it didn't work out. I'm trying my best to remember which footage is this. And of course, I messed up my grenade. The ceiling ruined my DPS, unfortunately. So I was trying to kill the barrier champion from long distance, and I don't really think it worked out too well because he kept hiding, kept being a troll. Say, nah, Blitz, you gotta come over here and kill me. And I'm like, okay, fine, we'll do the plan B. Might as well. I don't like the plan B, to be honest, but I had no choice. So I had to push towards the barrier champion, hit anarchy shots, and of course throw my nade, pop a healing rift just in case anything goes wrong, because anything can go wrong in Grandmaster, you never know. Even there's bugs where you can get one shot, and it happened to me actually in this arms dealer where I did deal with a bug with a teleport cabal next to me on the right side, by the way, and he stopped me. I mean, for the people who don't believe me and say, Blitz, you're over exaggerating, it's on Twitter, you can watch it. You can watch me dying at a bug. And I'll never ever stand in that little platform in the middle ever again. Maybe with a fire team. So once I hit the 2 switches, I'm going to throw my nade and deal with this tank. Those 3 cabals are 3 unstoppable champions, and yes, unfortunately we have to kill them to proceed to the next area. Well, actually, you just need to kill the gold cabal and the tank, and then you can proceed to the next area, but because we're going for platinum rank in this video, I have to kill all 3 of them, and it's gonna be a nightmare. So now I'm just throwing my nade. I'm gonna do a mini time skip. This is kind of boring. I'm just throwing nades on this platform and it's very safe. I mean, nothing can go wrong here unless you jump on a bad spot, a bad time where the tank can't shoot you, but anything else, it's safe. So I'm gonna do a mini time skip. Alright, so after wasting 4 minutes of my life, I'm still throwing nades. Isn't this exciting? Just throwing nades and then shooting anarchy shots. This is exciting. Finally I killed the tank, the evil tank, and now I was just trying to debate, can I kill them from far away? If I had a sniper, yes, I could kill them around here. On the 3 unstoppable champions, I had an idea. I was like, wait, maybe I could shoot them from there if I had a sniper. But since I'm not using a sniper, unfortunately, can't do it. So I had to go for plan B. And plan B is to bait 1 at a time of the unstoppable champions to kill them. So you can see here, I was thinking maybe I can do anarchy shots. It works. It's okay. But then the problem is the unstoppable champion is going to move and I don't think it's worth shooting anarchy. You can see he's moving, not good. Wasted 1 anarchy ammo, which is not good for Grandmaster. So I decided to bait them. So pretty much plan A. So I'm going to shoot and try to bait 1 unstoppable champion at a time. So I was waiting patiently, as always. Going to see if this unstoppable champion is going to get aggressive and push towards me. Then there's another unstoppable champion tries to kill me, so I use my Nova Bomb and then run away from my life. As you can see, it's really tough to deal with unstoppable champions at 1 at a time because sometimes 3 of them like to push towards you and try to kill you, and we don't want that to happen. Of course, with a fire team, it's no big problem. You can kill 3 of them with the fire team, but for solo, it's just a bit tough. And I would just kill 1 at a time. But for a fire team, yeah, go all out. Go kill all the unstoppable champions in 1 go. Once I reload the anarchy, I'm going to look and wait for the next unstoppable champion to push towards me. So I was throwing my nade, and then I ran away, of course, because he likes to shoot fire at me. Very long distance and accurate, by the way. Wait patiently, stagger him, and throw my nade. At the same time, the 3rd champion was starting to get angry. But I have no choice, I have to kill his best friend. I mean, I need to get platinum, you know? No choice, unstoppable champion. I have to kill you and your best friend. No hard feelings, right? I think he agrees with me. Another good weapon to use is a grenade launcher with major spec. There is a nice void grenade launcher that I could have used as well if I wasn't using anarchy. And Xenophage would also be good, But like I said, be cautious of Xenophage because you can lose your ammo quite a lot. Yeah, this is really fun, just wasting all my ammo. And I got exotic, and wow, isn't that funny? I was talking about Chaos Reach, the nerf of the geostabilizers, and haven't tested yet, and yet I get an exotic legs. Fantastic, Bungie. By the way, if you guys are wondering, it's a bad roll. I had to delete it. It was 57 stat. Barely any recovery, barely any intellect or discipline. It was high mobility, and you don't really need mobility for Warlock. You need recovery, discipline, intellect. Just to let everyone know about what Warlock stats you need for the year. And of course for Hunter, mobility, recovery, and discipline is good, and for Titan, of course, discipline and resistance and recovery. Of course, people will disagree that you need high mobility for Warlock, but to be honest, high recovery and discipline intellect is really good for Warlock. Like I said, it's everyone's playstyle. So now we're gonna be dealing with the boss fight. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be the best boss fight ever. I'm just joking. So I'm going to wait until this boss lag spawns or jumps. Sometimes he just lags. Sometimes he jumps and then he just lags. Like he teleports to the other platform. And it's very, very annoying. Now we're going to be dealing with the last unstoppable champion. Yes, this is the final champion throughout this entire Nightfall. This unstoppable champion likes to throw fire or shoot fire at you. I try my best to try to kill the unstoppable champion first and then deal with the other ads. I was waiting patiently and then shoot a couple of anarchies, and you're probably wondering why I'm not using my Nova Bomb. I'm saving my Nova Bomb for the barrier champions. So there's going to be 2 barrier champions up ahead. And I highly recommend use your super or any high DPS weapon to kill it quickly as possible, because your death is going to be the barrier champions at this boss fight. Well, pre-boss fight, but you know what I mean. Another thing I'd like to mention, this barrier champion seems to spawn in this area if the boss doesn't jump on the 3rd bridge, the last bridge, or mini bridge, from what I'm seeing. So I try not to shoot the boss where he's standing at front, as you saw there. And I wanted to deal with the barrier champion, especially this one, the one who spams the heir apparent machine gun. Well, it kind of looks like it. Once I stagger, I will use my Nova Bomb, because like I said, this barrier champion is the one's going to ruin your solo flawless, or they will kill your fire team. So you can see that the barrier champion seems to appear on that area when you don't do DPS at the boss. And it seems this method is more better than having 2 barrier champions in the ground. So when dealing with the first champion, try not to shoot the boss or do DPS at the boss. Ignore him, deal with unstoppable, deal with the barrier champion, then you can deal with the boss. It just seems more efficient and more safer than just focusing on the boss and make him jump on the third platform, then the fourth, and then you have two barrier champions in the ground at the floor. And I need to remind you that the barrier champions are buggy. I did mention that the barrier champion teleported on the right side and stopped me and then ruined my solo flawless. So it's best to kill him on this area where I'm standing, then dealing with two of them at the same time at the floor. If dealing with two barrier champions at the floor, then you have to kill them from a long distance, or you have to do DPS at the floor or the mini bridge, which I highly don't recommend because, like I said, there's bugs where they can teleport next to you, and it's not fun. Not very fun. Of course, with a fire team, it's no big deal. Doesn't really matter, to be honest, of what I'm saying. Now, I was trying to throw my nade, and I swear I thought I throw my nade pretty good, but it didn't work out. So as you can see here, my throwing nades are not that good. I'm not perfect. So now I'm trying to deal with this phalanx or this cabal shield with a gold bar. And finally killed him. Now I have to deal with the turrets, and they like to shoot fire from far away, which is why I put solar resistance so I don't die easily. You can see that there is a barrier champion behind him, but he will spawn in the middle, wall to the floor. So I wait patiently and just take down the red cabals of the ads. Just waiting. And of course, thankfully the boss finally jumped out of the way. And now I'm just taking my time. So yeah, using a scout rifle in this Nightfall actually helps a lot. Now finally the barrier champion's at the floor. And I have to deal with this one. It's going to be a little bit dangerous. So this is the plan B to deal with the two barrier champions. But I don't like this method because it's dangerous with two barrier champions. With one, it's okay. Like, it's not perfect, but it gets the job done to deal with the barrier champion. Especially using Xenophage, this will be pretty decent to do DPS with the barrier champion. Now, right now, I'm just being cautious because I did die here by not making sure all the ads are clear. So, I was just scouting from the left and the right. Just seeing like there's no cabals gonna surprise attack me, shoot me, and one-shot me. Just making sure everything good. There were no surprise attacks. Okay, everything looks good. And then I decided to back away and say, you know what, I want to be 100% accurate, so I'm going to go on top of this ship and then scout again. And then everything was good. So that's the reason why I was being very slow at that part, is I died from a cabal that surprise attacked me. Out of nowhere he spawned, right? Because, you know, we have no radar. And then he one-shot me because I jumped in the air because I freaked out. I panicked. I was like, oh my god, what the heck? Where'd you come from? Then I died. So yeah. Always be cautious on Grandmasters because, like I said, anything can one-shot you, and you always have to be 100% focused, which is why I don't really like Grandmaster. I feel like Grandmaster solos take so much stamina, and it does for me a lot. I get tired, exhausted, and I just want to do something else, you know, play easy solo. Like, for example, Harbinger, Presage, you know, just take a mini solo break, as I can say. Then deal with the Grandmaster solo. Like I said, I prefer Master over Grandmaster because you can be creative and have interesting loadouts than Grandmaster. Grandmaster for me is basically an exercise. I'm exercising my passive play and fast reactions and survivability, especially when I'm with a fire team, etc., etc. Of course, the more I do Grandmasters, the more I'll get used to it. I'm still not used to Grandmasters so much solo. Alright, so now we're gonna be dealing with the boss, and before I say anything, this boss can one-shot you with the sniper. You must count how long he constantly snipes. It's around 5 seconds if I remember. I always count in my mind like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hide. It's 5 or 6, I don't remember. When I play Grandmaster solos, I always count and just analyze their animation of what they're going to do. That's me, and of course, as someone who loves anime, well, as someone who has done animation, etc. I guess for me, it's easier to see the mechanics and see what they're gonna do, the boss. But who knows? I'm trying to do DPS at the boss, half of the first bar of the health. Then once I do that, I'm going to use my Nova Bomb, use Anarchy, not too much Anarchy, and then run all the way from the left side of the map. That way the boss will jump to his little safe bubble and of course make a bubble. And I can deal with the ship, the ads, and of course do the mini cheese. Now let me just remind you everyone, let me just tell everyone this because I know casual players do not know. So this mini cheese where you throw your grenades, it's nothing new, it's very old. I have done this on Solo Prestige Nightfall. And Solo Prestige Nightfall is when we had a timer and modifiers. Much more, and where of course there was no champions, but still it was tough because of timer. I'm pretty much used to the boss, but at the same time I dislike this Nightfall because sometimes the boss can be unfair at the third phase, the final phase. He's just so unfair, especially with the infinite of the snipers. That's the thing I don't like about the boss. I hate when the boss is unpredictable, and he can be on the final phase, which is why it's best to be a hunter, not cheesing. Of course, you can go Warlock and Titan, etc. Yes, you can go all 3 characters, but the safest and the easiest would be hunter, to be honest. So like I said, I'm going to do DPS until his health is half of the first bar. So, going to do a mini time skip. Alright, so after doing some DPS, half of his health at the first bar, I'm going to use my Nova Bomb, hide a bit, shoot a couple of Anarchy shots, and then I'm going to run all the way from the left side. Now I was just making sure the boss was not sniping me, and I did enough DPS so he can pop his bubble. If you don't make him pop his bubble, he will snipe you. He will snipe me from far away from this area and you will die. You can see there that he was trying to snipe me, but the bubble blocked his way. Now there's going to be a ship spawning and I spam anarchy, as you can see. Reason why is because this ship can actually kill you. He's the most dangerous part throughout this entire boss fight. Always kill the ship. Kill him as soon as possible. Use anarchy, use xenophage, grenades, rockets, any heavy you desire to use, and kill him or kill the ship as fast as possible. Now you can see here that I am just spamming anarchy of my life. And if I was using xenophage, I would spam xenophage of my life. So now I'm just spamming my grenades, trying to kill all of them as soon as possible. And also be cautious of the deadly grenades you can see there. If you see them, stay away from them as soon as possible. You don't want to mess with them, they can kill you, it's not fun, it's a horrible experience of getting killed from those grenades at the boss fight, especially when you spend over an hour or 50 minutes of your life and a grenade just kills you one hit. It's not fun. So now I'm just looking from the left side, I'm scouting, looking from the right side. I was double checking if there are no surprise attacks because I already had a bad experience upon that, and everything looks good to go. So now I can do the mini cheese and of course time skipping very soon. So let me just talk about this. So you can actually throw your grenades, any grenades that has a splash effect, or pretty much you can use void, arc, and Jutun. Can actually, with a fire team, you can actually use Jutun to do some DPS at the boss. You can use the solar grenades for Warlock, you can use the void grenades for Hunter, you can use the arc grenades for Titan. Pretty interesting. There is a way to shoot anarchy in a specific angle where you can do DPS at the boss, so I was trying to do that, and of course my anarchy bounced. So that was unfortunate. And it actually did work a little bit. I was like, wow, it's actually working, but then it wasn't. So it's a weird angle, by the way, but you can use anarchy to do some DPS at the boss. Another thing I like to say is I don't really enjoy doing Grandmaster so much, but it's a high request. I've been having a lot of high requests to do solo Grandmaster, so I decided why not. I still prefer Master Nightfall over Grandmaster because you can't really go creative on Grandmaster, and if you want to go creative then it's gonna take so much of your time where I don't have that time to do creative loadouts for Grandmaster. And Grandmaster loadouts are very strict. But if I do have an opportunity to use a weapon without anarchy, then yes, I'll do it. And for Grandmasters, just to let everyone know, I use the best subclasses or the easiest subclasses on the Nightfall Reek. So if it's a Warlock, then I go for Warlock. If it's a Hunter, I go for Hunter. Or if it's a Titan, then I'm going to go for Titan Grandmaster. And then later on, if I have time, then I do the remaining other classes for Grandmaster or for Master Nightfall. Alright, so I'm going to do a mini time skip because, let's be honest, nobody wants to see me waste 10 minutes of my life throwing grenades, and you can see that sometimes my grenades are not good. Alright, I'm going to do a time skip. And don't worry, I'm going to show the rewards of what I have for the Grandmaster, because I have read some comments where they want to see the rewards, so I won't block it. Alright, so after wasting over 10 minutes of my life, I finally throw my grenade and kill the boss. And wow, this was fun. Don't you just love it, wasting 10 minutes of your life just throwing grenades at the boss? So fun, isn't it? Exciting. And I got an exotic. Well, I got a sparrow exotic, which I don't really need so much. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.